Wow, I can't believe you're getting married just like that. I don't understand how there was someone willing to make such a basic girl like you their wife.
Hold on, Liz. Whatever happened to congratulating someone for getting married?
I'm sorry. I just heard about this from Mom and was in complete shock. Congratulations on getting married, Julie. Great thing you did that just before you became too old for most men.
I don't think I'm going to say thank you to something as ridiculous as that now.
But you know who I want to talk about right now besides you, Julie? I want to talk about your husband and the fact that he's most likely some slob that was unmarriable just like you. Way to go picking up the scraps like that, big sis. Would have been a lot nicer had you ended up like me, though. Cute and actually interesting to talk to.
Don't call my husband a slob and someone unmarriable, please. He is a very nice man. And starting now, I'll be joining him and making sure his company grows and makes him more money.
What? What do you mean, his company? Is your husband the owner of some company?
Yes, he is. That's why I just quit my job as we were getting married. From now on, I'll be working for him, inside his company. At least that's the plan.
What? A boring and basic woman like you got married to a CEO? In other words, that makes you the wife of a CEO now?
Well, I wouldn't say that just yet, considering his company is still small. But as time goes on, I hope to help him build it up, and then you can start calling me something so honorable. He's going to be running the company, though, and I'll just continue working for him.
Who cares about all that? I'm just in shock over the fact that you're the wife of a CEO now. How dare you marry a company-owning man like him?
I wasn't trying to be mean or anything, and it's not like this is that big of a deal. He owns a little company that I'll be joining to help build with him, that's all.
But Julie, you left your job to go and help him, right? That job you had before was really good, with a good salary and great benefits, right? You went and quit your job there to go and work with your husband now? That means you have to be making way more money with your husband. Tell me right now how much he's making every year there. Hundreds of thousands? Millions even?
Hey, stop asking about how much money my husband brings in, please. I'm not going to tell you anything about that right now.
I see. In other words, he's making so much that you don't want to share.
What? I never said that.
I'm so shocked by how this all unfolded. I was totally thinking that someone as basic and gloomy as you would never find yourself a man to marry. Yet now you're married to a very successful company-owning man. Is your husband one of those men that is attracted to ugly people?
Excuse me?
Well, I'll be able to learn about all of those details in person later on, right? Hey, Julie? Do you mind lending me some money right now? It would really help me a lot if you were to lend me $5,000 right now.
So, you start things off by making fun of my husband and I, yet now you expect for me to lend you money? And $5,000? I'll give you $5 if that's how serious of a situation you're in.
Well, I've started to want to get married myself now. I would like to be like you, finding myself an amazing husband with loads of money that I can have. That's why I was thinking of going to a speed dating party, or perhaps creating my own account online to start finding myself some decent men. But of course, all of those things cost money, right?
I suppose you would have to pay to attend those events, as well as a monthly fee for any dating and marriage apps.
Unfortunately, I'm no full-time employee, but just a simple part-timer, which means I don't have any money in my savings, but would really like help finding a man. If you've been able to get yourself a rich husband, then you should be able to lend me a couple grand at the very least, right?
I told you things aren't like that with him, but if you really want me to lend you some money, you'll have to sign an IOU first. I know that both Mom and Dad have been wanting the same thing for you, finding a man that can get you out of their house and into a life of your own.
I'll sign! Then let's get to it and get that money into my bank account. If we don't get to work here right now, any future would-be husbands might get away from me.
Julie, I'm sorry for bringing this up right before our wedding. I'm sorry to also have to ask this, but please leave me.
What?
I know it's only been just 3 months since we got married, so I'm really sorry, and our wedding is this weekend, but I can't keep hiding my true feelings anymore. I want to break things off with you and marry Millie now.
Excuse me? Wait a second, Tony. What the hell did you just say to me? You want to divorce me now? So that you can get married to my little sister? What the hell are you going on about right now?
I knew that you'd get upset with me for saying this, but just listen to me. Actually, I've been dating with Liz for a little while now.
Huh? So, in other words, you mean that you've been cheating on me with her? You and we've only been married for 3 months now, and you did that? You went and started cheating on your new wife with her little sister?
I'm really, really sorry, but at this point, the only person I'm attracted to is Liz, and I can't get her out of my head. She is literally the only thing I can think about anymore.
How can you say something like that to me? I married you because I thought we were both on the same page when we said we wanted to grow happy and old together. I quit my job in order to be able to support you and your company. We were supposed to both be in this together, Tony.
And I'm very thankful that you did something as selfless as that. I really suck at things like paperwork and advertising things. Because of you, things became a whole lot easier for me, and I've really appreciated all of that. But compared to you, Liz is far more my type, and I just know that her and I will be happier together.
Huh? You think you'll be happier with her then?
There's nobody else cuter than she is, and who's willing to do anything and everything for me. No matter when or where we are, she's always worried about me and so kind. This is the first time in my life where I've been so close and connected to someone.
What the hell are you saying, Tony? I have done so much for you that most other women would never even think of doing, and that's because I love you. I have already sacrificed my job for your company, and have even been doing all the chores at home so that you can focus on your goals.
But Liz gave me a very high-end and fashionable necktie.
What? She bought you a high-end brand necktie?
At first, when Liz came to me confessing the feelings she had for me, I just assumed she was joking around and said no to her. But after that, she continued to send me one text after another telling me how much she was in love with me. Then last month on my birthday, she told me she at least wanted me to take the present she had gotten for me. And that was when she came to me and gave me this insanely expensive high-brand necktie. This is the first time in my life where I've ever gotten a present worth more than $1,000.
You're kidding me. So that's all it took for you to jump from me to my little sister even though we're married? All you ever wanted from someone was a simple present that cost more than $1,000? I thought the gift of being married was something you would never be willing to throw away.
And I really did enjoy the fact that you married me, but I've never experienced love like the kind that Liz has for me. I've been so emotionally moved by the way she's shown her love to me that I can't get her out of my head. That girl is destined for me. I just know it.
No way.
That's why I'm asking you to please divorce me. I'll get the papers tonight, so please make sure to sign them all for me.
Excuse me, Liz. What the hell is going on here? Explain yourself right now. How the hell could you take your sister's husband from her like that?
I stole your husband, didn't I? Sorry, but I'm going to be getting married to Tony now.
I'm not playing games right now, you bitch. I thought you went out looking for your own man already. Why the actual hell did you end up dating my husband of all people instead?
What? I went out looking, and that's when I found your husband and decided he'd be the man I married.
Huh?
He was just the man I was looking for, Julie. One that has a lot of money and decent looks, who would easily succumb to the cuteness and love of a little girl like me. All I had to do was buy him an expensive present, and he started going on about how it was the first time he'd ever received a present like that, like some idiot. Seriously, it is way too easy to get men to want us, right?
What?
Thank you so much. You were willing to lend me that $5,000 I asked for, and with that money, I was able to get the necktie that was key to getting Tony to fall for me.
Come on now. You actually used the $5,000 I gave to you on that necktie? You used my money that I lended to you on a high-end necktie that you could use to steal my husband?
You really thought that I'd just be going to some stupid events and going onto apps to try and find myself a man? Those are just wastes of money where women and men hook up to have some easy sex, right? I would have never found myself a man that I wanted to marry at one of those events.
So you borrowed my money with that plan in mind from the start? In order to steal my husband from me, you asked me to lend you some money because you didn't have any. How much more of a bitch can you become, Liz?
You are so miserable right now that it's insane, Julie. And you just handed me that money without a thought behind your eyes, all so that I could go and steal your husband from you. I feel so bad for you right now that I'd be willing to use some of Tony's money later to get you a funeral.
And you're not even going to bother apologizing to me. Instead, just laughing at the hell you've created. Well, I'm just going to warn you, there is not a bone in my body that wants to forgive you.
I'm not asking you to ever forgive me, Julie. As long as I can become the wife of a CEO, that's all I need. And now that I have one in my grasp, I'm on track to winning at this game called life.
Huh?
Tony really is such a wonderful person, isn't he? He is so madly in love with me right now that he'll listen to anything I say. And for our wedding, we'll be having a gorgeous wedding that's going to cost over $50,000.
You guys plan to still throw a wedding even though everyone is going to know that you stole my husband from me?
What's wrong with having a wedding after stealing your husband? I told Tony that I want to have a wedding no matter what. And he replied by saying he'd give me whatever kind of wedding I asked for. That's why I already called around and have set up plans to have a $50,000 wedding. I just knew that having a CEO husband meant that I could have anything.
A CEO husband, huh?
Now that you're aware of everything, hurry up and leave that man. Your CEO husband is no longer yours to have anymore. He's head over heels for me right now and wants to give me a $50,000 wedding.
Even though he's only bringing in around $25,000 a year.
What?
So, it'll take him 2 years to pay that wedding off, as long as he doesn't spend a penny on anything else. I guess if you don't mind eating dirt and living under a bridge after your wedding, go right ahead. He'll be throwing all the money he earns those next 2 years, just so that you guys can have one special day together.
Hold it right there. Tony is not that uncool, okay? He'd never be making such chump change as that. He is the owner and operator of a company, right? He shouldn't be making so little money as that. Instead, close to $500,000 a year, right?
You never understood what I was saying before then. Just because he has a company that he runs doesn't mean he's living large. His company is so small that it is literally just him working there and nobody else. There are plenty of people like him too, with their own company and all only making close to $30,000 a year. Yet they can still be called CEOs, technically, since they operate their company.
What?
I mean, Tony is a CEO, legally anyway, but in reality, all he's doing is a little bit of work every day just to keep some money flowing. And if he were to try really, really hard one year, at most, he'd get close to $32,000.
What? Are you sure?
So, if you'd like me to take a word out of your books, he is making chump change. And my goodness, is it wild that you'll be having a $50,000 wedding with a man like that.
You have to be lying right now. You're just trying to bully me now by making up that lie. I mean, you literally quit your good job to be with and support him, right? If his company was worth you leaving such a good job behind, that means you both have been very busy making a lot of money at his company, right? Which means these past 3 months you guys have been making bank, right?
The only reason I quit my job was because of the timing. I have always wanted to start working on my own time. And since I was getting married, I thought what better time than to do so. And because of the time on my hands, I thought that I would spend some of it helping his company out.
What? When you say you wanted to start working on your own time, does that mean you've started to freelance as well or something?
Not just freelance, but start working on making a company of my own where I could improve and use all my skills. So I started a company that does the same thing as Tony's, a design company. And as a way of helping the both of us, I started having my company work together with his. And then, with some willpower and a bit of luck, I landed my first customer.
What? You are telling me that you have a customer now?
And I am very thankful for it. They told me that they noticed all the effort I was putting in and wanted to start supporting my goals. But of course, due to that, a lot of the income that Lloyd had been making went to me, as the customer wanted to only work with me. So, even though we are both running companies within the same field, I'm making more than he is. But that is because of the work I've been putting in, and nothing else.
What?
As I told you, right now, Tony is making around $25,000 to $30,000 a year, right? Well, I'm making close to 5 times that much with the help of such a loyal customer. And there are more to come once I get things more commercialized.
In other words, you're making over $100,000 now?
Sure, I might be some basic girl to you, but at least I have a company now where I'm starting to feel like I'm really successful. Now, I'm going to get to that divorce you both have been wanting so badly. And, of course, once him and I are exes, I'll no longer be helping him at all with his company, and I'll be taking all my support with me.
No way! That would mean he'd be all on his own running his company, right?
I'm sure if he were to step up his game just a little, he'd be able to design some better products that people would really like. And let's hope there are people out there willing to work with a man who is so crazy he'd cheat on his own wife with her younger sister. Now I have bags to start packing so that I can get out of here. And I'll make sure by the end of today, him and I are divorced.
I'm not screwing around, Julie. Why would you take all of those customers I had with you? I get that I didn't have many, but now I literally have nobody. Tell them to come back and buy from me right now.
Don't complain to me about all of that. They all have told me they'd rather be purchasing and working with me than you. If you have a problem with that, then you voice your problems to them.
What was that?
But I don't think you have any time to be doing all of that anymore, do you? You have to start worrying about that $50,000 wedding you have to give Millie now since you promised her that. If you had the time to start complaining to all your old customers, then you shouldn't even be worried about losing them in the first place.
Yo, screw you! Do you have any idea how difficult it is for me to find new customers right now? All of the ones you stole from me, I worked for months on end finding. They should be staying with me instead of going to you and your business.
I have been putting in just as much work as you have, Tony, but the difference is, my work actually has some merit to it, because I'm working on the right things and making sure all of my designs are perfect. In your case, all that work is just you sitting around playing on your phone, only ever putting in effort when people come to you for it, and producing half-assed designs.
What?
You're going to have to work even harder now, because if you don't, you're going to lose that company of yours to bankruptcy. From what Liz has told me, she's so happy to have herself a CEO now that she can marry, which means if you let your company go, she's going to be very, very sad.
And who do you think's fault it is that my company will go bankrupt from making no money? I will not take that stranger-like attitude from you now!
But I am a stranger now, am I not? And I say that because you and I are no longer married. What happens to your company from now on has nothing to do with me and my life anymore. Now what you really should be worried about is the fact that you're going to need to start paying off that settlement to me.
What? You're gonna try getting a settlement from me now?
Not try. I will be getting one from you. You were my husband at the time, yet told me about how you'd been cheating on me with my sister. I'll make sure you take responsibility for my broken heart by paying up.
But it's because of you that I'm not going to be making any more money from my company! You can ask me for a settlement, but I won't have a way to pay you anything!
It's not about you having the money to pay me or not. It's about you finding someone to lend you the money now to pay me, and paying that debt off later. If you're that worried about money right now, close your business and go find yourself a job working for someone else. Then you'll be making some income again, right?
What?
Your company's problem and the settlement I'm asking for are two separate things. Now, please, get that money to me when I ask you.
Julie! You know what? You can have Tony back now if you want. I don't need someone like him anymore. I have no use for a man that's not going to be making any money.
Don't be so cold about your man like that. Isn't he madly in love with you right now? I was told that you were destined for one another, so you can't be mean to the one you're destined for, right?
That destiny you and him have talked about has nothing to do with me. My future husband is not going to be some lost cause of a bankrupt man. I don't love him anymore and I want nothing to do with him. I'll give him right back to you now. Therefore, can you please stop asking me for that stupid settlement?
Wait, so you already received the letter in the mail from my lawyer? He really is a fast-working and precise lawyer.
I can't pay this kind of money to you, Julie. All I did was steal your husband from you for a bit, and you're asking for $30,000 now because of that?
Oh? Did you make sure to read everything that was written down on that letter from my lawyer? That's not just the settlement I've asked for because you took my husband, but also some other money that you owe me as well.
What? Other money that I owe you?
You're indebted to me, right? Remember how you borrowed $5,000 from me so that you could pay to find yourself a husband?
Ah!
So, a part of that money you owe me is that, which you have to pay me back. Of course, there was interest on that, right?
Interest? You're going to try and get that much money out of your own little sister now?
Hold on a second. What kind of a comment was that there? You were the one that read through and signed the contract we made, the IOU, yet you're complaining now?
What? What exactly was written on the IOU again?
So, you didn't read that after all then? I wrote on that IOU that for every month you didn't pay me anything back, you'd be charged interest. I also made sure to write on there that if you used the money I loaned you on anything other than its intended purpose, you'd be penalized.
Penalized? What? Hold up, that was even written on there?
I told you I didn't want to lend you $5,000, but if you were willing to sign an IOU, I wanted to make sure I wouldn't be getting screwed over in any way. So I made sure to write that you would be penalized for not spending the money on the intended things.
No way, Julie!
Yet you went right ahead and spent that money on something completely different from what you specified before. That's why, with the penalty and the interest included, you owe me $30,000 now. Please don't take it personally, because it isn't.
No way! No way!
I get that your man doesn't really have any customers anymore, but he's still a business owner, right? A CEO. If you go ahead and help him out in the most darkest of times with the company, I'm sure you can turn things around for yourselves. So don't go throwing him away and give him the help he deserves. Now, when you guys get around to having that super gorgeous wedding of yours, send me an invite. I would love to see what the wedding of two cheating assholes looks like. In order to pay off the settlement, Tony had no choice but to drain all of his personal savings and take out a sizable loan just to cover his portion. As for Liz, she hadn't saved up anything at all, so her loan had to be even larger just to meet the demands placed on her. It wasn't long after the settlements were finalized that both of them began receiving messages from their families. Angry, disappointed messages that ultimately led to both sets of parents cutting them off completely. Disowned and disgraced, their support systems disappeared almost overnight. After the fallout, Liz told Tony that if everything was going to fall apart anyway, she'd rather face it all with him than be left alone in the mess. So, for now at least, it looks like they're sticking together, if only because there's no one else left willing to stand by them. Unfortunately, the situation only continued to spiral. Tony's company, already struggling under his poor leadership and damaged reputation, started to completely collapse. The financial hit was too much to recover from. When it finally shut down, Tony had to find regular employment. The job he landed wasn't anything close to what he was used to, not in pay, position, or prestige. It was a harsh downgrade, but he didn't have a choice. Liz, on the other hand, is now juggling 3 part-time jobs, desperately trying to keep up with her loan payments before they bury her completely. It's not glamorous by any means, but it's the consequence of what they did. As for me, my company is thriving. Business has never been better. And I've been fully booked for weeks. With the settlement money I received, I'll be reinvesting into expansion and moving forward without looking back.
Penny, where the hell are you? We were supposed to meet at the cafe today, remember? You're not just late, you're really late. I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Mia, I'm so sorry. I was just about to head out the door when I suddenly went into labor. I'm at the hospital right now.
Wait, what? Are you serious? But your due date isn't for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but it looks like the baby had other plans. They admitted me right away, and I'll probably be giving birth tomorrow. Things have calmed down for now, but I'm staying overnight just in case.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm really sorry. Everything happened so fast, and I couldn't even get a message to you until now. I hate to cancel like this, especially since I was looking forward to seeing you.
No, this isn't just some little cancellation. I needed to talk to you today. I rearranged my whole work schedule just for this meeting.
I get it, and I'm honestly so sorry. It's been a while since we saw each other, and I wanted to catch up too. But I promise, as soon as I'm discharged, I'll call you. Can we talk then?
No, it'll be too late by then. This was something I needed to say before you gave birth.
Wait, what? It's that urgent?
Of course it is, and you being rushed to the hospital now just complicates everything. You know what? Fine, I'm coming to the hospital right now. I'm bringing the divorce papers. I need you to sign them today.
What? Divorce papers? What the hell are you talking about?
Don't act confused. This is the only chance I have to get this done. Once the baby's born, everything gets complicated legally. So it has to happen now, before that kid arrives. I need you to divorce Cedric.
Wait, what? You can't just drop something like that on me. Why would I divorce Cedric? And why are you of all people asking me to? This doesn't make any sense.
You always were a little slow on the uptake. Isn't it obvious? I'm going to marry him. Cedric and I have been seeing each other for a year.
What did you just say?
Yeah, a full year. He said ever since you got pregnant, you've been distant, cold. He was lonely, heartbroken. So I stepped in. I gave him what you wouldn't.
No, this is a joke. This has to be a joke, right? You're telling me you've been sleeping with my husband while I'm pregnant?
At first, it was just physical, a short-term distraction, something harmless. But over time, it became real. We started falling for each other. You pushed him away, Penny. I simply picked up the pieces.
You're unbelievable. I'm about to give birth tomorrow. I've been carrying his child for 9 months and you choose now to tell me this? The day before I go into labor?
I knew it would hurt you, but I didn't want to drag it out any longer. And honestly, you only have yourself to blame. You used your morning sickness as an excuse to slack off. You stopped cooking, cleaning, being affectionate. Do you have any idea how neglected Cedric felt?
Are you kidding me? I could barely stand up some days. I was vomiting constantly. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I asked him to stop wearing that overpowering cologne because the smell made me sick, and he didn't even care. He kept spraying it on like nothing. I wasn't avoiding him. I was just trying to survive.
Here you go again with the excuses. You've always been so dramatic. This is why Cedric lost interest. He wants someone who makes him feel wanted again. Someone like me. And he told me himself he wants to be with me for good. That's why I brought the divorce papers. You're going to sign them today.
You know what? If Cedric is the kind of man who cheats on his pregnant wife with her sister, then I don't want him. You can have him, but don't expect me to keep quiet about this.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I'm done playing nice. You think you've won because you snatched him behind my back? Go ahead, marry him. Let's see how long he stays loyal to you. Because if he could betray his pregnant wife this easily, don't think he won't do the same to you one day.
Wow, jealous much?
No, just done. You broke something that can't be fixed. Both of you did, and I'm not going to raise my child in the shadow of this mess. You want a signature? Fine, I'll give you one. But not because you won, because I'm walking away.
Penny.
Save it. I'll be a single mother, and I'll be damn good at it. My child will grow up knowing the truth, and I'll make sure they never have to rely on liars like you or Cedric.
You'll regret this. You can't raise a child alone. You're not strong enough.
Watch me, and when you're stuck with a man who cheats, lies, and gaslights, don't come crying to me. You chose this. You both did. Now live with it.
You're being emotional. You'll calm down later.
No.
Hey, Penny! It's been a while. How you been holding up? I bet the kid's grown a lot by now, huh?
What is this all of a sudden? I don't have anything to say to a man who divorced me the day before I gave birth.
Whoa, what's with that cold tone? I know it's been a while, but come on. We were married once. And that kid, he's still my son, whether you like it or not. You could have at least let me know what's going on, especially if it's urgent.
If you want to play the dad card, how about starting by paying your child support? You haven't sent a dime in over 6 months. It's been a real burden, Cedric.
Wow, right out of the gate with the money talk, huh?
I've told you before, I want a lump sum payment. The less I have to deal with you, the better. So please, just get the money together and end this properly.
Support anymore. Not now, not ever again. You're on your own from here on out.
Excuse me? Are you seriously saying that to me? You're still the father, Cedric. You don't just walk away from that responsibility. It's not even that much. I've only asked for $100 a month.
And I'm telling you, even that is impossible now. I'm completely tapped out. Everything I make is going into Mia's care.
Mia's care? What are you talking about?
Your sister, well, I guess technically your former sister, she had a major accident about 6 months ago. She's bedridden now, completely immobile.
Wait, what? You mean she can't move her arms or legs? Is there any chance she'll recover? With therapy or something?
Nope, She suffered a spinal cord injury. Doctors said the change is permanent. We can only keep her muscles from deteriorating further by moving her body manually every day. But she'll never walk again. She can't even sit up on her own.
No, that's horrific. How did this even happen? What kind of accident was it?
It happened right after you and I got divorced. Mia and I got married, and we went to Hawaii for a kind of honeymoon. We were celebrating, drinking a lot. She slipped on some stairs, hit her back. That was it. One wrong step and everything changed.
That's just awful. Falling when drunk. That's something that happens all the time. But for it to end like that?
Yeah, no one saw it coming. The guilt is eating me alive, Penny. She's trapped in her body, but her mind is still sharp. And she lashes out constantly. She complains nonstop about the way I care for her. I'm working full-time and coming home to this every day. It's killing me, mentally and physically.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare. Mia must still be trying to come to terms with it all. It's probably easier for her to take it out on you than face the fear and frustration head on. Anyone would feel terrified if their body just stopped working one day.
Penny, how are you still this kind? Even after everything we did to you, even after Mia stole your husband, you still try to understand her feelings? You really are incredible. You know what? I knew reaching out to you was the right call. If anyone could help me through this, it's you!
Hold on, are you seriously about to ask me to help take care of Mia?
Of course! Come on, you're a kind, reliable woman. I know you'd never abandon someone in need, especially your own sister.
Are you out of your mind? I feel for what she's going through, but that doesn't mean I'm getting involved. Her condition has nothing to do with me anymore. And no, I'm not helping. Don't ever contact me about this again.
What? You're really going to turn your back on us? Mia's your family! She needs you! What kind of person are you? You think it's okay to raise a kid while acting so cold and heartless?
Don't you dare preach to me about responsibility. You cheated. You lied. You broke our family apart without a second thought, and now you expect me to jump in and clean up your mess?
Shut up! Come on, just help me already! I'm losing my job over this! If you agree to help, you can even move in with us! We can all live together! Think of how much money you'd save on rent!
You've got to be kidding.
You're a single mom now, right? Must be hard on your own. Kid expenses, food, rent. But if you help out with Mia, you can stay here rent-free. It's a win-win.
Wow, you seriously think saving a bit of rent is worth becoming a full-time caregiver? 365 days a year, cleaning, feeding, bathing. I'd rather just get a second job and pay rent than live like that.
But think of the child! This kind of environment would be so educational! Being around someone with disabilities from a young age would teach compassion, empathy. Our kid could grow up to be a gentle, thoughtful caregiver!
Hold on, are you seriously thinking of making our child help care for Mia?
Why not? Mia is technically still their aunt. Family helps family, regardless of age. Besides, I've already done more than my share. Now it's your turn to deal with your sister.
Yeah, about that. I'm an only child.
Huh?
Mia? She's not my sister. Not anymore. Actually, she never really was. She was adopted. We ended the adoption after everything she did.
Wait, what are you saying? Mia's adopted? Since when? And you canceled the adoption?
Mia was originally my cousin. Her parents died in an accident when she was still a baby. My parents took her in because they couldn't have kids back then. They raised her as their own. Then, a few years later, I was born.
Holy crap!
We grew up like sisters, sure. My parents never treated her any differently. But after she slept with you, my husband, and then married you, they were done. They said, if you're going to marry your sister's husband, we're dissolving the adoption.
They really did that?
Yep, and Mia didn't even hesitate. She chose you over them. Said something like, I'll always be grateful, but I'd rather marry the man I love.
So, she really has no legal ties to you anymore?
That's right. I'm an only child. Mia isn't my sister. She's just some woman who betrayed me and destroyed my family. I don't owe her a damn thing, so stop trying to guilt-trip me into caregiving. You two made your bed, now lie in it.
No way! No one ever told me any of this! I thought you were just being bitter! But she's really not your family anymore? Then who do I even turn to now?
That's your problem, not mine. And if Mia can still talk, then maybe you two should talk. You're husband and wife now. Figure it out together.
I'm to you now? After all those years of being family, I was your big sister. Are you seriously going to abandon me like this?
Wait, Mia? You can message me? I thought you couldn't even move your hands.
I can't, not on my own. I use voice input. Takes forever, but I manage. More importantly, why are you refusing to help me? Cedric told me he asked you to help with my care.
He did, but I see no reason to. No obligation, no value in it. And you didn't lose your memory when you got hurt, right? So you still remember exactly what you did.
Come on, that's cruel, Penny. Yes, I know what I did, stealing your husband. That was horrible. But I'm different now. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm helpless. Don't you feel even a little sorry for me?
I feel sorry for what happened, sure. No one deserves to live like that. But do I care? Not really. Because I've lived through hell too, Mia. You wrecked my marriage. You shattered my family. And now I'm a single mother trying to survive. You think you're the only one who had their life fall apart?
Then can you at least talk to Mom and Dad? I'm too scared to contact them myself, but maybe, if they hear what happened, they'll want to help. You're still living with them, right?
Yeah, I moved back in with them once I realized how tough this was going to be. And guess what? I already told them everything. Your accident, your condition, your need for support.
And? What did they say?
They said, word for word, we have no intention of helping her.
What? No, they wouldn't say that. Not Mom and Dad. They raised me like their own.
They did, and they loved you for a long time. But even they have limits. Mom's sitting beside me right now. Want to hear her exact words?
Go ahead.
Whatever her life has become, it's the path she chose. She cut ties with us when she married her sister's husband. She made that decision with her own mouth, so she doesn't get to come crawling back now that it all went wrong.
No, they wouldn't turn their backs on me. Not completely. Not now.
They already have. You stopped being their daughter when you threw away everything they gave you. And I stopped being your sister the moment you betrayed me without even flinching.
But I was in love. It wasn't just about Cedric. He made me feel seen, wanted, like I mattered. You and I both know I always felt like the outsider. He made me feel like I belonged.
You were family. That was your place. But I guess it wasn't enough for you. You wanted what I had. You saw my husband, my child, and you wanted it for yourself.
I didn't mean to. I didn't plan to take him. It just happened. We connected. I know it sounds awful, but love doesn't always make sense.
No, it doesn't. But consequences always do. And now you're living with yours. Don't look to me to save you from it.
You really hate me that much?
I don't know what I feel anymore, but if you want honesty, I don't pity you. You made your choice. You picked Cedric over this family, over me, even when Mom and Dad told you they'd cut ties. You still walked away with that smug little smile.
That's not fair. I was just trying to be happy.
You destroyed my happiness for your own. And now that yours has crumbled, you want me to help you rebuild. You want to lean on the sister you tossed aside.
I'm still your sister, Penny. That doesn't change.
No, Mia, you were my sister. But here's the part you clearly forgot. You're adopted. And when you chose to marry my husband, our parents dissolved the adoption. You're not legally my sister. Not emotionally, not morally, not anything. You're just a person I used to know. Nothing more.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they took you in out of love, out of compassion. You were Dad's cousin's kid. Your parents died in that crash, and ours took you in, and they raised you like you were their own. They gave you everything, and when they begged you to not marry the man who shattered their biological daughter's life, you said, and I quote, "I'm grateful for all you've done, but my happiness matters more."
That's not what I meant.
Doesn't matter what you meant, it's what you said. And now, when everything's fallen apart, you expect those same people to forgive and forget?
I didn't know they actually dissolved the adoption.
Well, they did. Legally, you're no longer part of this family, so no, I won't help. No, I won't speak to doctors or caretakers or whatever team Cedric can't handle. And no, I won't explain this to your neighbors or do your errands or help bathe you. You chose your path, Mia. Now walk it. Oh, wait. You can't.
You're cold.
Maybe. Or maybe I just got tired of being the one people stepped on. I learned to survive. I got stronger. And you lost everything you stole.
Please, Penny, I'm begging you. I can't do this anymore. I'm at my limit. I can't work overtime because of all the caregiving. They just removed me from the main project. Do you get what that means for my career? And Mia keeps calling me during work hours, demanding I come home and take her to the toilet. Every day is exhausting. I'm drowning.
Then maybe you should start using some welfare services. If you keep trying to do everything by yourself, you're going to collapse.
You think I haven't looked into that? I want to use them, of course I do, but they aren't free, and the more I rely on them, the more they cost. If you helped out, all of this would be fixed.
That's not my problem. I've got my own job and my own life. I don't have the time to be someone else's full-time caregiver, especially not for Mia.
Then tell me how much you're earning. I'll pay whatever you make. If I cover your salary, then you'll help take care of Mia, right?
You're offering to hire me as a caregiver?
Why not? You're a single mom. Your paycheck can't be that big. What, maybe $1,500 a month? That's doable. I'll pay that. You can move in, take care of Mia, and maybe help around the house a little. That's not a bad deal, right?
So, let me get this straight. I go from working a job with regular hours to living in your house and working 24/7 doing personal care, housework, emotional labor, all for the same monthly wage? That sounds less like a job and more like a prison sentence.
Stop complaining. You'd be getting paid just to stay at home. Plus, you wouldn't be paying rent anymore. You really wouldn't be losing anything.
No rent, more time with my kid. I guess if you really think about it, that could be appealing.
Exactly, it's a win-win! Finally, you're being reasonable!
In that case, I'll be expecting $4,000 a month, same as my current salary.
Wait, what? You make that much?
Surprised? I went back to work right after giving birth, thanks to my parents supporting me. I pushed myself harder than I ever thought I could. I kept climbing, getting promoted, proving my worth every single day. And now, I've earned this salary. Oh, and this summer's bonus, that's another $12,000. I assume you'll be matching that too?
Are you kidding me? There's no way I can pay you that much! Do you think I'm made of money?
Then I guess this negotiation is over. Good luck handling it all by yourself.
You're serious? You're just gonna walk away?
You walked away first, Cedric. You made your choice when you left me for my sister. You threw away our marriage, our family, and now you're mad that I'm not offering to rescue the wreckage you made?
I didn't know things would turn out like this!
None of us did, but here we are. You thought chasing your desires would lead to happiness, and now it's led you here. Stuck with a partner who can't move, a career slipping through your fingers, and no support. And suddenly you want me, the woman you betrayed, to fix it for you? No.
I'm not asking for much, just help! You're still family!
You stopped being my family when you made Mia your wife. You and she both burned that bridge. And now that your house is on fire, you want me to come running with a bucket of water? Not happening.
God, I can't believe this! You're really just gonna let me fall apart like this?
I didn't cause this mess. You did. And speaking of which, you still haven't paid child support this month.
You're gonna bring that up now?
Damn right I am. It's 3 months behind, and if it doesn't come in soon, I'll be calling your company. They can garnish your wages if necessary.
Are you some kind of demon? I'm already going through hell, and now you're making it worse?
I'm not a demon. I'm a mother. And I'll do anything to protect my child, even if that means dragging you through court.
You've really changed.
You mean I stopped being a doormat? Yeah, I had to. Life forced me to grow a spine, and I'm not apologizing for it. You made your decisions. You chose Mia. You chose betrayal. And now, you can choose to be a man and deal with the consequences. Or you can keep crying and hope someone else fixes it. But either way, it won't be me.
So that's it? You're not even gonna think about helping?
I did think about it, and I thought, hell no. You're not worth sacrificing my career, my child's peace, and my dignity. Not again. Never again. This move, however, meant he was completely off the fast track for promotions, and his salary was significantly reduced. Every day was a constant exercise in budgeting and cutting costs to make ends meet. Despite the sacrifices Cedric was making, his sister's frustration only grew. Being bedridden, her world had shrunk to eating and sleeping. And she took no small amount of anger out on Cedric. She would lash out with harsh words, screaming that her only joy was food and demanding to be allowed to eat whatever she wanted, as much as she wanted. She insisted that Cedric worked to make her happy and accused him bitterly for the restrictions on her meals. Cedric, who had been patient for a long time, finally snapped. Tensions between them escalated. When his sister's disability pension finally came through, Cedric seized the money entirely for himself. He justified this by thinking that since he was the one providing so much care and support, it was only fair that he controlled the funds. He would say things like, "I'm the one putting in all this effort, so it's only right that I take it." Or mockingly remark, "All you really need is your meals, right?" As a result, almost all of his sister's pension was spent by Cedric, leaving her with very little control or freedom. The atmosphere at home was tense, with resentment and frustration growing on both sides. Cedric's sacrifices were real, but the emotional cost was heavy, and the situation had become a strained balancing act between caregiving duties and personal frustrations. Despite the toxic atmosphere, Cedric continued with his daily routine. Wake up early, prepare his sister's meals, work a job that barely covered their modest expenses, and return home to more demands and complaints. The once dutiful brother was now burnt out and emotionally drained. He rarely smiled anymore, and his eyes always looked tired. Friends had stopped reaching out long ago, tired of being turned down for every invitation. Cedric's world had shrunk just as much as his sister's, though in a different way. His prison was not his body, but his responsibilities. He began to avoid coming home right after work, lingering at convenience stores or sitting in empty parking lots just to delay the inevitable verbal onslaught. Sometimes he would walk for hours with no destination, just needing a break from being screamed at for buying cheaper brands or not seasoning her food just right. Even when he tried to give her small indulgences, a sweet pastry, a favorite dish, she'd either complain about the portion or say it didn't taste like it used to. The emotional toll grew heavier with each passing week. Deep down,
Are you seriously out there sightseeing like some carefree idiot right now? Get your ass home, now! And don't make me ask you again!
excuse me, what's going on all of a sudden? Why are you demanding I come home like that? I'm in France, Ray. Even if I did want to come home right away, it would be impossible.
Then get on the next damn flight! This is not the time to be frolicking around like some clueless tourist! Don't you get it? Something serious has happened!
This is my first overseas trip in years, Ray. What's even going on? Why the sudden panic?
Don't play dumb! The hospital should have contacted you already!
Hospital? What are you talking about? No one from any hospital has contacted me.
That's impossible! I told them to notify you, too! They called me saying my dad collapsed! You were supposed to get the same call!
Your dad collapsed? Ray, are you serious? No one told me anything like that. Is he okay?
Does this sound like a damn joke to you? The hospital just called! They told me he died! They said your father has passed away! Just like that! Gone! Out of nowhere! I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye! I never got to repay him for everything he did for me!
Oh my god.
There's a lot to plan now. The funeral, arrangements, the wake. You're his daughter-in-law. You have responsibilities. You need to cancel your little vacation immediately and get your ass back here to help.
I can't just cancel everything on a whim. This trip has been planned for months. It's our last day here. I even signed up for a group tour. People are already waiting downstairs.
Then cancel it. Who cares about your wine tastings and photo ops? My father is dead. You seriously plan to finish your little tourist trip now? Are you insane?
It's just, this was supposed to be special. A rare getaway, the first in so long. I've been looking forward to this last part of the trip.
Are you kidding me right now? You're actually prioritizing your vacation over my father's death? God, you are unbelievable, Fia. I'm done. You want your trip? Fine, stay in your fairy tale. When you're back, don't bother coming home. I want to divorce you, selfish cow.
Divorce?
What else would you expect? I can't stay married to someone so heartless! Skipping your own father-in-law's funeral so you can sip champagne and pose by the Eiffel Tower? You've clearly lost your sense of decency! Have you forgotten everything my parents have done for us?
Actually, I'm with them right now.
What?
Yeah, your beloved, generous parents, they're here in France. Right next door, probably still sleeping peacefully in the room beside mine. It's only 4 a.m. here.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about? My parents are with you? In France?
Yep, they've been traveling with me for the last few days. We've had a wonderful time, honestly. Wine tastings, river cruises, castle tours, and you're telling me one of them died? Really?
I don't understand. Why are they with you? How come no one told me about this?
Because you bailed on our wedding anniversary trip, remember? This was supposed to be our 10th anniversary getaway. We had the tickets booked, the itinerary set, the hotel reservations done. You canceled on me last minute. Said you had a can't-miss business golf event or whatever your usual excuse was.
It was a critical meeting, Fia, with a major client. If I had skipped it, we could have lost that deal. It wasn't something I could say no to.
Right. Like always, your job comes first. You always find a reason to ditch our plans. I was furious, devastated even, but I didn't want to waste the trip or sit alone for a week in Europe. So I asked your parents on a whim. Figured they'd say no, but they jumped at the chance. Said it'd been years since they traveled and that they were thrilled to spend time with me. It's actually been really lovely.
So my dad is actually alive? And just sleeping in the next room?
Very much alive. Snoring a little even. So no, James, I'm not flying home. And if you want to go through with that divorce, then by all means, knock yourself out.
What the hell is going on? I swear I got a voicemail from the hospital. They said your father has passed. It sounded serious. I even called back and told them to notify you too.
Well, clearly someone messed up, because I didn't get any call. And your father? He's just fine. So maybe check that voicemail again. Make sure it wasn't for someone else's father.
I'll call the hospital again. This doesn't make sense.
You do that. And in the meantime, I'll be enjoying the last day of our trip with the people who actually bothered to show up.
Fia, wait!
No, Ray. You want to scream at me, accuse me, threaten me with divorce, all because you couldn't bother to keep track of your own plans, your own voicemail, your own parents? You ruined our anniversary. I salvaged it with kindness. So next time you decide to throw accusations like knives, check who you're
Strange message from my son, Ray. He asked, "Are you really alive? Is your body okay? Do you happen to know what that's about?"
Good morning, David. Yes, I think I can explain that. Apparently, Ray got a call from the hospital saying you had passed away. I told him you were alive and well in France, but it must have shaken him up. I guess he needed to hear it from you directly.
Wait, the hospital told him I died?
I know, it's bizarre. It must have been some kind of mistake or a misdial. I even contacted my own parents just to be sure nothing had happened to them, but they're totally fine.
Strange indeed. So it wasn't me, and it wasn't your father either. I wonder, what if it was the father of the woman Ray's been cheating with?
What?
Fia, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. You might have already suspected it, but Ray has been cheating on you. He's been seeing someone else.
What? I had a weird feeling something was going on, but to hear it confirmed like this. Wait, how do you know?
It was pure coincidence. My wife and I went on a ski trip not long ago, our first getaway in ages, and who do we see at the same inn? Ray with another woman!
That's horrifying. What are the odds?
Exactly. It was awkward, to say the least. As soon as we got home, we started looking into it, both of us, thoroughly. And unfortunately, our suspicions were spot on. We wanted to tell you, but then you invited us to this France trip. We thought maybe it would be better to talk after the trip, not during.
I had no idea you both knew.
My wife and I think of you as our own daughter. But if you and Ray get divorced, we probably won't get to see you anymore. So, selfish as it may sound, we agreed to come on this trip because we wanted to make one last memory with you.
That explains it. When I invited you last minute after Ray suddenly bailed, you were both so eager to come along. You even insisted on paying for everything. I thought it was generous. Maybe a bit overly generous, but now it all makes sense.
I'm sorry you had to hear all this now on the last day of the trip. I know it's not exactly the note you want to end a vacation on.
No, you're wrong. I feel great. I'm actually relieved to hear that you both feel the same way I do.
Wait, what do you mean?
You were right to suspect something. I noticed it too. Ray forgetting our anniversary, emotionally pulling away. I realized not long ago that we were already over as a couple, so I'd already decided, once we got back from this trip, I was going to start preparing for divorce.
You had?
But the moment I made that decision, I thought of you two. You've always treated me like family, like your own daughter. And the thought of not seeing you anymore, just because I'd be divorcing Ray, it really hurt. So I invited you along on this trip, hoping to create one last beautiful memory together.
Fia!
I'm going to divorce Ray, but even after that, could we please stay in touch? I'd like to still be part of your lives, if that's okay.
Of course, I'd be honored. Honestly, it means so much to hear you say that. We'd love nothing more than to keep you in our lives. You'll always be family to us.
It really does feel like we're a real family, doesn't it? Well, shall we go grab some breakfast? Is your wife up yet?
She's next to me, crying tears of joy. She thought she'd never see you again after the divorce.
Aw, let's wait until she's done crying. Then we'll meet up. It's our last day in France. Let's enjoy it together, just the three of us.
My bad, Fia. Looks like I just totally misunderstood the situation. Don't worry about anything back here. Just enjoy your trip, all right?
Misunderstood?
Yeah, well, stuff happened. But more importantly, thanks for inviting Mom and Dad on the trip. You're such an amazing wife, stepping in to give them the time of their lives in my place.
Excuse me? Weren't you the one calling me a worthless bitch not too long ago?
Huh? Did I say that? I don't even remember. You're making a big deal out of nothing, babe.
Don't try to play it off like a joke. How the hell does someone misunderstand their own father's death? Was it a prank call from the hospital or what?
Not exactly a mistake, but kinda? Anyway, no need to stress about it. By the way, when are you coming back to the States? If you want, I can pick you up from the airport.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm not coming back to a house where a cheating bastard like you lives.
What?
The moment I land, I'll be heading straight to your parents' house. They were kind enough to offer me a place to stay until I get back on my feet. Funny how your parents have more compassion than you ever did.
Wait, hold on. Are you calling me the cheating bastard?
Oh, who else would I be talking about? Besides, me not being around should work in your favor, shouldn't it? You'll need the extra time now that your mistress's father suddenly died. You must be busy planning the funeral and all.
What the hell?
Once the divorce paperwork is finalized, I'll send it your way. All you'll have to do is sign and send it back. After that, you're free to marry your mistress or whoever the hell you want.
Wait, just hold on. What are you even talking about? I didn't cheat on you. And what's this about her father dying?
Oh, please, stop pretending. I already know everything. Your parents told me everything.
Dad told you?
They saw you, you know. Stumbled right into your little love getaway, and right after that, they hired a private investigator. They've got all the proof. They're handing it over to me once I'm back in the States.
What? No way! They hired a PI?
Yup, and guess what we found? You've been seeing that woman for 3 years.
Wait! A whole investigation? When did this even start? How long have you known? We've known for 6 months, you moron! How could you do this? You have a wife, a kind, loyal wife, and this is how you repay her? Dad? You know I'll never forget that day. Your mother and I had gone out of town planning to relax at a ski resort. And what do we see? You frolicking around with some young girl like a damn fool! You saw that trip? You were hanging all over her like a teenager in heat, laughing, touching, not a care in the world. You ruined that vacation for us. I can explain, I swear! We looked into it afterward, of course. Turns out you've been spending a lot of money on her. And the kicker, you even held a damn wedding ceremony with her. 2 people, alone, in secret. When your mother and I heard, we nearly fainted. Our own son. This much of a disgrace? It wasn't like that! I didn't want to do the ceremony! Her dad collapsed. They said he didn't have long to live. She begged me, said he wanted to see her in a wedding dress before he passed. That doesn't justify anything. You have a wife, Ray, a real wife, and you stood at the altar with another woman? I didn't have a choice! She said she'd tell Fia everything if I didn't go through with it! I was blackmailed! Oh, you looked real forced in those photos. The investigator found her burner's social media account. She posted everything. You were smiling like the happiest man alive! What? No! I told her not to post anything! Nobody was supposed to see those! And from what we hear, you've been pretending to be her husband all this time, visiting the hospital, playing the doting son-in-law, didn't even tell her family you're married. What a farce! I didn't want to go! She dragged me there! I didn't ask for this! Then it's no wonder the hospital called saying your father-in-law passed. To them, you're her husband! Still, how you managed to twist that into thinking I was dead? Unbelievable! I panicked! I just wanted Fia to come back! I thought if I made it sound urgent enough! What kind of son are you? You lied about your father's death just to manipulate your wife? Why is everything exposed? Why did you even get a PI? Why were you spying on me? You didn't leave us much choice. After what we saw at the hot spring, we couldn't just let it go. And yes, Fia told you already. Once she's back, we're taking her in, and the divorce will happen. You're really siding with her over your own son? I'm your blood! Then act like it! But no, you threw your marriage away for some fling! We don't recognize you anymore! You are no longer our son! Wait, what? You heard me! You're disowned! Don't ever set foot in this house again! No way! Fia is a far better daughter than you ever were a son. She always included us, always thoughtful. She brought light into this family. And you dragged it through the dirt. Dad! You're going to pay alimony, you're going to give her share of the assets, and you will make amends. We'll be watching. Obviously, this is cruel! Didn't I say I'd come pick you up from the airport?
And I thought I made it perfectly clear that I didn't want that.
Come on, don't be like that. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I know I messed up. I cheated on you, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. I betrayed your trust, and I'll never deny that. But I don't want to divorce you. I really don't. I'll break up with her, I swear. I'll cut all ties. Just please don't give up on us.
Oh, is that so? That's funny, because your girlfriend called me directly the other day.
What?
She said she wanted to talk, and when I picked up, she started crying almost immediately. Apparently, she lost her father recently, and now she's alone. She told me, "Please, please let Ray go. I have no one left but him. Please, I'm begging you, let me have him."
You've gotta be kidding me! That woman seriously did that? Behind my back?!
Don't be mad at her. She clearly loves you so much, in fact, that she even tried to buy you off me. She offered me your worth in cash. Said she'd hand over her father's entire inheritance if I'd let you go.
What?!
Yep, apparently the inheritance is around $100,000. And she was willing to give all of it to me as a form of, let's call it, emotional compensation.
No! No, wait! You didn't actually accept that, did you?
Of course I did. I mean, imagine getting $100,000 to hand over a cheating husband. Best deal I've ever made. Absolute bargain.
Fia, no, come on, I'm serious. Don't do this. I don't want a divorce. She meant nothing. She was just something that happened. You don't understand. I was trapped. She knew I was married. She pursued me anyway. And lately she's been clingy, obsessive. She's the one who's been pushing everything. I've been overwhelmed. I'm the victim here.
Seriously?
No, listen, I mean it. Things just got out of hand. I didn't plan any of this. It started as a stupid mistake, and then suddenly she's talking about marriage and moving in. I didn't even want that fake wedding we did. Her father was dying, and she begged me to do it so he could see her in a wedding dress before he passed away. I didn't want to say yes, but she threatened to tell you everything if I refused.
You do realize how insane that sounds, right? So, you had an affair for years, lied to both families, pretended to be someone else, participated in a fake wedding, and continued to deceive everyone just so you wouldn't get caught? And now you're trying to spin yourself as the victim?
I didn't know what else to do! I didn't want to lose you!
You already did. And not just me, you lost your parents too.
Wait, what? No, they wouldn't. Dad was just angry. He didn't mean all that.
He meant every word. After everything you pulled, the lies, the betrayal, the humiliation they felt watching you flaunt your affair in public, they've had enough. Your dad told me personally that he no longer considers you his son. Your mom cried. She said you shattered everything they raised you to be.
But they're my parents!
They were. Now, they said they'd rather support me, the woman you betrayed, than continue to pretend they don't see who you've become. They've already told me I'm welcome in their home anytime. Funny, isn't it? You lost both your wife and your family in one move.
This can't be happening. This is like some nightmare I can't wake up from. Fia, please, I'll do anything. I'll fix this somehow. I'll make it right. Just don't leave me, please.
You had 3 years to make things right. But you chose to sneak around, lie, and mock me behind my back. Even when I was overseas, even when I was calling your parents and checking in, you were off playing house with another woman. Don't beg now. It's pathetic.
But I love you! I really do!
Then you should have acted like it. Love without loyalty is meaningless. And as far as I'm concerned, you made your choice. Enjoy your life with your new bride. I hear she's ready to give up everything just to keep you. Let her have you. You'll make each other miserable.
Fia!
I have better things to do than listen to your sob story. If you've got time to whine about your victimhood, you've got time to prepare the divorce papers and the settlement. Don't make me chase you for it. I'm done with the games. You cheated, you got caught. Now you pay the price.
Please, just one last chance.
No, you had a wife, a family, a life. And you threw it away for a woman who offered to pay $100,000 for your freedom. So guess what? You're bought and sold. Congratulations, you're officially someone else's problem now. Goodbye. Easy road, but having them on my side made all the difference. They understood my pain, they believed in my reasons, and most importantly, they didn't try to guilt trip me into staying for the sake of appearances or pride. With their help, everything was handled smoothly and with dignity. Of course, I didn't walk away empty-handed. The alimony and division of marital assets were handled exactly as I had requested. There was no haggling, no second-guessing, and no attempts at negotiation to lower the amount. Ray transferred everything in one lump sum, perhaps as a silent admission of guilt, or maybe just to close that chapter of his life as quickly as possible. Either way, I received what I was legally and emotionally owed, and that allowed me to start fresh without being financially burdened by the mess he created. Now, about Ray, it turns out that karma moves quickly. After our divorce was finalized, he ended up getting trapped in a bizarre and messy situation with the very woman he had been seeing behind my back, the one I used to refer to as his meltdown girlfriend, apparently in a move that surprised even Ray himself. She submitted a marriage registration form without his full consent, and just like that, without warning, they were legally married. According to what I've heard through mutual acquaintances, Ray tried to confront her about it, tried to reason with her, explain that it wasn't what he wanted. He reportedly brought up divorce several times, even begged her for an annulment, but every time he so much as mentioned the topic, she would completely lose control. She'd show up at his workplace unannounced, sobbing uncontrollably, and cause a public scene in front of his colleagues. She'd scream things like, "So, you're just going to leave me all alone now? After everything we've been through? After you said you loved me more than your ex-wife?" The drama became a regular spectacle. Her outbursts quickly made the rounds through the office grapevine. And it wasn't long before management decided they'd had enough. Instead of firing Ray, they chose a subtler punishment, reassignment. He was transferred to one of the company's most remote branches, far away from the city and far away from his original team, effectively exiling him. In a way, I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. But then I remembered all the tears I shed during our marriage, all the gaslighting, all the times he made me feel like I was the one who was crazy or insecure just for sensing something was off. This was the life he chose, and now he's living with the consequences, quite literally. Meanwhile, my relationship with my former in-laws has only grown stronger. Despite everything that happened, they never treated me like an outsider. In fact, they made it clear from the beginning that their loyalty wasn't to Ray simply because he was their blood, but to what was right. They valued me as a person, and I'll always be grateful for that. These days, we still see each other often. We talk, we laugh, and we share meals like we always did before everything fell apart. If anything, our bond has deepened. We've even made a tradition of taking short trips together every few months. Just the three of us, me, my former father-in-law, and my former mother-in-law, hitting the road, exploring hot springs, hiking trails, or coastal towns. Those little getaways have become my favorite kind of escape. There's something incredibly healing about those moments. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about finding peace in the aftermath. About realizing that family isn't just about marriage certificates or bloodlines. It's about the people who stand by you when everything else collapses. Every time we sit down together for dinner or take a stroll through a quiet countryside path, I feel a little more whole. I don't know what the future holds, and I'm not in a rush to figure it out. But for now, I'm happy. I'm finally surrounded by people who see me, who hear me, and who have proven time and time again that I matter. And as for Ray, well, last I heard, he's still trying to juggle his new life with his unpredictable wife, all while adjusting to his new role in the middle of nowhere. He's been keeping a low profile, no surprise there. It's hard to be the office charmer when everyone knows your personal life is a circus. In the end, I got something he never will. Freedom. Not just from a toxic marriage, but from the burden of regret. I walked away with clarity, closure, and an unlikely but cherished relationship with two people who didn't have to stay in my life, but chose to anyway. And that, more than any amount of money or apology, is the real victory.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.